What up? It's your boy T-Burn from The Reaction. Today is Music Monday. It's your boy T-Burn and along with his co-star TJ. You can see right here. Who's trying to grab my headphones. No. Move up a little bit so you can grab all this stuff. Anyway, probably see him now. Anyway, we're going to check out, this is Music Monday. We're going to keep going with the Thoughts by Dre. Celebrating what debate on which year was the best year of rap, and we're gonna look at another debatable year of rap as well too. Arguably one of the best years of rap as well too, and that is 1996. 1996, we witnessed one of the best. We did witness one of the best year in hip hop as well too, with a lot of great sophomore follow-ups from albums in the past as well too. Some highly anticipated long way of debuts from artists who were featured and stuff as well too for a while, such as Jay-Z. Software project from likes of Nas, Fugees, J. Rue the Damager, and many others as well too. And the hip hop scene was on the rise with Bad Boy Records as well as Death Row Records and many other labels as well too. But unfortunately, this was not only the best year in hip hop, it was the worst times in hip hop as well too, as we was in the middle of the infamous East Coast West Coast beef as well too, the war in hip hop, which was spearheaded by budding labels, Death Row Records representing the West Coast, and Bad Boys Record representing East Coast as well too. And around this time, this would eventually lead up to the life loss of two iconic hip hop artists, well, two from both sides. That one of them being taken of that year, and that was Tupac Shakur of Death Row Records, and later on in '97 will be Notorious B.I.G. of Bad Boy Records as well too. So anyway, we witnessed the great times and sad times of hip hop, but it was definitely still arguably one of the best years in hip hop regardless. So without further ado, we're going to take a look at some iconic hip hop albums, that hip hop moments as well as albums that took place in '96. Let's get it.
In the beginning, most rappers were pretty much party MCs with basic flows. But hip-hop evolved, and by 1988, a new generation of rappers led by KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Kool G Rap, Rakim, and others would take over and become the blueprint for future generations. By the time 1996 came around, those legends had given ground to a new generation of MCs. In the early to mid 90s, those MCs had tested different styles and worked on their production. And by 1996, they had all of it mastered to create a year of music that we will never forget. 96 began in somber, when in January we got the second full-length album from the late great Eazy-E.
Yep.
Eazy had passed in March of 95, and many in hip-hop were still mourning him. We got his posthumous album straight off the streets of Compton. Highlights of the album include Eternal E, The Motherfucking Real featuring MC Ren, and Just to Let You Know. The album went gold and was a good closeout on a way too short life and career of the late great Eazy-E. Things would pick up in February, more specifically on February 13th, which was one of the biggest days in music history. First, we got the release of Mad Skill's first album, From Where.
Nice.
Highlights include The Nod Factor and Move Your Body. The album received great critical review, but it stood no chance for commercial success, as it had came out on the same day as two classics. First, there was the Fugees,
The Score. One of the iconic sophomore I told you about.
Amazing. It had top-notch production, dope lyrics, and gave the world the first real chance to take a listen to Pras, Lauren, and Wyclef, and all the talents that they possessed. Highlights include Ready or Not, Killing Me Softly, and so much more. The album and most of its singles went multi-platinum, and they will go on to win a Grammy for Best Rap Album, and The Score is considered one of the best albums of all time. Our next classic of the day will come from the late great Tupac with his first album of the year, All Eyes on Me. All Eyes on Me was guaranteed to be a hit from the day he started writing. The anticipation for what Tupac would sound like on the Dr. Dre production had the hip-hop world in a frenzy. And once the video for California Love dropped, it was everything we expected and more. Highlights include Ambitions as a Rider,
Yeah, my all-time
No More
favorite.
Pain, where he takes his first public shots at Biggie and Bad Boy, dedicating almost a minute to trashing Biggie at the end of the song. There was Trading War Stories and just about everything else on both albums. The album went diamond in the US and platinum in multiple countries. It's Tupac's highest grossing album, and many consider it his best.
Yup.
A lot of people are gonna disagree with me right here, but I don't think All Eyes on Me was his best album of '96. I have to designate that for
Machiavelli, I knew it.
On Machiavelli, Tupac stepped his lyrical game and creativity up. Songs like Blasphemy and Me and My Girlfriend are great examples of that. Every time I hear this album and how much he evolved as an artist, it really makes me wonder where he could have taken his music. The Machiavelli album went multi-platinum and is my favorite album by Tupac, and it's also one of my top 5 albums. 96 would bring us the debut album from leaders of the new school standout,
Here we
Busta
go, as I
Rhymes.
mentioned.
Busta had been
As I mentioned, one of the and highly long way anticipated debuts in hip hop as a part of groups or features as well too, and this is one of them right here.
destroying people on features, and the time had come for him to deliver his own album, and he lived up to the hype with The Coming. The album went platinum behind singles Do My Thing, It's a Party, and its breakout single, Woo Ha, which is dope, but the remix with the ODB is a blessing. Busta remains one of the top MCs, and he's had one of the best careers that an artist could possibly have. The Ghetto Boys returned with their 5th album and another lineup change. This time, Willie D returned, replacing Big Mike. This was another dope album from the Kings of the South. Highlights include The World is a Ghetto,
Yup.
Hold It Down, that has one of my favorite Scarface verses on it, Blind Leading the Blind, and so much more. This is one of my favorite Ghetto Boys albums and really showed how elite Scarface had gotten as an artist. The album went gold, and the Ghetto Boys maintained their place as a top group in the South and one of the best in the game. MCA returned with his 2nd solo album, Death Threats. Highlights include Late Night Hype 2, Death Wish 4, which is another DJ Quick diss, and Thuggin' It Up, which is a song I love. The album went gold and kept MCA's hype going. Master P returned with his breakthrough album,
Ice
The
Cream
Ice
Man.
Cream Man. This is the album that began the amazing run to the top for Master P and No Limit Records. The album went platinum behind the street classic Mr. Ice Cream Man, and my favorite that features UGK, Break 'Em Off Something. Too Short returned with his 10th and also first retirement album, Getting It. This is my favorite album by Too Short. It went platinum behind the lead single, Getting It, which was the perfect song for Short to bow out to. It was
That's the first
smooth,
album
it had
that's the first album he got his teeth fixed around the time.
more
Wow.
mature Short, giving us good game. But as we all know, Short kept releasing albums. I think he's released like 30 of them, and he keeps entertaining us today.
There you go.
96 will bring us the golden debut album from the Lost Boys, Legal Drug Money. The high energy and dope lyrics made them immediate standouts. Highlights of the album would include Jeeps, Lex, Coupes, Beamers, and Benz,
Yup.
Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless, and one of my favorite songs, Renee.
Yup.
The Lost Boys were on the path to greatness until the untimely death of Freaky Ty.
Yeah.
They've always been a big what if for me. We also got the debut album from Helter Skelter, Nocturnal.
Yup. Another long-awaited debut, as they had like features. They did a lot of features before that.
Highlights would include LaFleur, LaFleur, Eskoska, Clans, Posses, Crews, and Clicks, and Sean Price. The album didn't have a lot of commercial success, but was a great album. Although the production was lacking on some of the songs, the lyrical content on the album
Just know he got this makeup like the Ultimate Warrior right there. Interesting. That's pretty dope.
arrangement. They released a couple more albums, and Sean Price will make his mark as part of the Boot Camp clique, and also as a solo artist before his untimely death. Jay-Z was set to summer on fire in June with the release of his debut classic.
Another highly
Reasonable
anticipated
Doubt.
debut. Along the way,
This is
debut.
arguably Jay-Z's best album, and one of the 3 best albums of '96 in my opinion. Which in any other year it may not mean much, but '96 was a totally different beast. This is another album that you can pretty much put it on and let it ride, but some of the highlights include Politics as Usual, Brooklyn's Finest featuring the Notorious B.I.G., which contains, I believe, the only diss that the Notorious B.I.G. made towards Tupac,
Yup.
and also Faith Evans.
Yup.
The whole album is dope and went platinum,
It really
starting
is.
Jay-Z's string of platinum albums.
Because
July
at
will-
least he didn't know. At least he noticed that Two Shots it wasn't just a Tupac. You know, it was mistakenly made as a diss to him.
Be a huge month for the summer of '96, beginning with July 2nd with the release of 3 huge albums. First, we get the debut release from
The Crucial
Chicago rappers
Conflicts.
Crucial Conflict, The Final Tick. The album went gold behind singles Ride the Rodeo, Showdown, and their smash hit Hey. They would set the tone for the fellow Chicagoans, Twista and Do or Die, who would make a major mark on '96. The next big release of the day would come from Nas with his sophomore album, It Was Written. The album went platinum behind his monster debut single, If I Rule the World, featuring Lauryn Hill. I thought the album was amazing, but some Nas fans felt that it was too commercial, but I disagree. This album did exactly what Nas needed it to do.
Exactly.
It gave him his first big hit. He introduced his new group, The Firm, on the song Affirmative Action, and it helped create a buzz for their upcoming album. And he gave us plenty of dope lyrics on songs like The Message, Watch Them, and I Gave You Power.
Yup. Yeah, I was going to
It
say
Was
that.
Written was one of the best albums of the year, and If I Rule the World was one of the songs that ruled the summer. De La Soul returned with their 4th album, Stakes is High. Highlights include The Business, Stakes is High, and It's So Easy. The album contained more serious content, with them not being happy with the music business, and that may have affected the sales of the album. July 30th would be another huge day, as we would get 2 huge releases.
Yup.
First, we got a release from A Tribe Called Quest with their 4th album, Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Yup.
Highlights would include The Hop, Get a Hold, and Once Again. The album went platinum, and as usual, Tribe showed that they were one of the best in the
I think I
game
stressed out.
after a 3-year hiatus. Our next release of the day will come from Southern Legends UGK with their classic album, Ride
Riding Dirty. Yup.
This is one of the best albums of the year and one of my all-time favorite albums. Songs like Diamonds and Wood, Murder, and 3 in the Morning can never be played just once. The album went gold with no videos or radio play.
Yeah, I was
And if
wondering
they would
why.
have been
I thought about
promoted
that.
properly, this album would have made Bun and
I
Pimp
was
superstars.
realized that they had no videos for any of
UGK
these
still
songs.
had a great career and are the favorite group of many people from the South and the Midwest. August 27 will bring us 2 big releases. First, we got MC Light's return with their 5th album, Bad As I Wanna Be. This is MC
Cold Rock
Light's
the Party.
highest charting album that also spawned 2 gold singles in Cold Rock the Party and Keep On Keeping On featuring Escape. On this day, Outkast would also release
Yup,
their
ATLian.
sophomore album, ATL.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was out 96 or 97 they released it, and that helped me out right there.
This was another
I
amazing
think Goody Mob
album
reduced their debut
that
too.
deservedly went multi-platinum.
Another sophomore.
On this album, we will see the emergence of Andre 3000. He stepped his lyrics up to another
did.
level
He
as he
did.
began to become one of the greatest MCs ever. Highlights of the album include ATLians, Jazzy Bell, and Babylon. A week later, on September 3rd, we will get the debut release from Chicago rappers Do or Die,
Do or Die,
with
yeah.
Picture This. Do or Die released their debut single, Po Pimp, earlier in the summer, and it was an immediate smash hit. Po Pimp went gold and will reintroduce us to Twista, who featured last on the song, Stole the Show. The verse put Twista back in the spotlight ahead of the release of his next album, Adrenaline Rush.
People really not say that because he had an album back then in like early '90s called he had a couple albums in the early '90s called As a Tongue Twister. That's why didn't get as much success as he got when he became as just Twista,
which would come in '97. Do or Die's album, Picture This, will go gold behind his strong singles Po Pimp and Player Like Me. Do or Die's momentum will continue over to their second album, and they still continue to release albums today. The Roots return with their third album, the critically acclaimed Illadelph Half-Life. Highlights include Section, Clones, and the super smooth What They Do. This is one of my favorite songs by the Roots, and I also love the video.
Yeah, the video's
awesome. The song stops you in your tracks and forces you to nod. The beats dope, the hook, everything. The Roots will go down as hip-hop's greatest band, and Black Thought will go down as one of our greatest MCs.
Yes.
In '96, we will get the debut Exhibit at the Speed of Life. Highlights include Plastic Surgery, The Foundation, where he drops gems for his young son, and Paparazzi, which caused the Outlaws to diss him on Bomb First off of Tupac's Machiavelli album. They dissed Exhibit because on Paparazzi, he talks about rappers being in the rap game only for money and not for the love of hip-hop.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if the Outlaws felt that it was a diss or felt that it was dumb that he just wanted to rap for the love. But anyway, it caused them to diss him on Bomb First.
Damn.
Exhibit will have a good career, and we'll hear a lot more from him in the future years. Ice Cube, Mac 10, and WC will link up to form the West Side Connection. And on October 22nd, 1996, they released their debut album, Bow Down. This was another great album with highlights such as Bow Down, Gangsters Make the World Go Round, Gangsters Don't Dance, Westward Ho, and much, much more. All three rappers were in their prime and putting out the best music of their careers.
And then they had the diss song against Common too.
They meshed very well together to form the group, and they released another album in 2003 before disbanding. The following week on October 29th, we got 3 more huge releases. The Brat returned with her sophomore album, Another Tantrum. Highlights include Sitting on Top of the World and Ghetto Love, featuring T-Boz of TLC. The album went gold, keeping the Brat amongst the top women in the game. Our next release of the day will come from Bay Area legend E40 with The Hall of Game. This was 40's best album in my opinion. He opened the album hot with Record Haters, a diss towards Rasheed Wallace and AZ, setting the tone for the album. Highlights include Things Will Never Change, Rapper's Ball featuring Too Short and KC. 40 and Too Short go back and forth on Rapper's Ball, dropping dope verses with KC lacing the hook. The album also included $1 Million Spot featuring Be Legit and one of the recently deceased Tupac's final verses. The album went gold as another Bay Area legend showed and proved. To close out the day, we get the release of Wu-Tang Ghostface Killer's debut classic.
Another anticipated long way to be debut.
This is another album you can pretty much let ride from opening track Iron Maiden to its close Marvel. The album has A1 production, creative subjects, amazing lyrics. This album is pretty much a hip-hop lover's dream. Ghostface blesses us with a song that everyone who grew up without much could relate to, With All That I Got Is You.
I always said like his album was like more. I mean, you know, Meth had the hit song with all I Need, I'll Be There For You and all that. That was a good little love hip hop song. His album was like more on the R&B side as well too, but more than Takao in my opinion.
Mary J. Blige delivers a hook that touches you deep
especially
down.
This and Keme.
It will bring you down to tears. The album went platinum and cemented Ghostface as one of the best MCs in the game. Bone Thugs and Harmony introduced us to their family with the release of Mo Thugs Family Scriptures. Highlights include Killing Fields, Mo Murder, and Thug Devotion. The album went platinum and will be the first of their Mo Thugs albums. A personal favorite album from '96 was Tila, Peace of Mind. I think it was a very good album. Highlights include Twisted, that uses a sample of King of Rock by Run DMC, and it's very dope. Tired of Ballin', which introduced us to Jazzy Faye. The strip club classic, Show Nuff, featuring 8Ball and MJG. I was a huge fan of Suave House. I love 8Ball
That's
and
what.
MJG.
That's what he was on Suave House.
It's a toss-up between them and Mobb Deep for my favorite group. They also had a great lineup featuring Crime Boss, Mr. Mike, Thorough of South Circle, who used to kill every feature that he was on. Growing up in St. Louis, Suave House was big. 8Ball and MJG were legends up there ever since the 90s. November 12th will be another big day, as we had two legends drop albums that day. First, we will get the release of the Queen Bee Lil' Kim's highly anticipated debut, Hardcore. Kim lived up to the hype and delivered the best female album of '96 and one of the best of the decade. The album went multi-platinum behind singles No Time and Crush on You, and album cuts such as Mouthy and Not Tonight. Kim will go on to be arguably the greatest female rapper of all time. Snoop Dogg returned with his album Dogfather. Highlights include Vapors, Dogfather, and Blueberry. The album went multi-platinum, but didn't live up to the quality of Doggy Style. I think it was a pretty good album, just wasn't the Doggy Style, which that's something pretty hard to live up to. The following week on November 19th, we will get two more huge albums. First, we would get Foxy Brown's highly anticipated debut album, Il Nana. The album went platinum behind strong singles I'll Be and Get Me Home, and also album cuts like Holy Matrimony and The Promise.
That was him. Jesus Christ.
Foxy will have a legendary career and is one of the best female rappers ever. She would get into a heated beef with Lil' Kim that will last for years. I made a video about it. It's called Beef Hits Manhattan. There's a lot more details about their beef in the video, and there'll also be a link to it in the description. Our other release of the day will come from Mobb Deep
Hell on Earth
with their acclaimed album,
Hell on Earth. Hell on Earth.
This is the album that made me a fan. I liked their album, The Infamous, but Hit It From the Back was so bad. I had to get two good albums before I could trust them.
Hold on. Damn. Because the song from the first album, that's from their first album on Juvenile Hell. Damn. That's a damn shame. That song was so bad that he had to wait till it took Hell on Earth for him to like give Mobb Deep their credit though.
These include Drop a Gem on Them, Godfather Part 3, Give It Up Fast, and just about everything else on the album. The album went gold, receiving critical acclaim from multiple publications including The Source, Rolling Stone, and the LA Times. The Def Squad will close out the year with Keith Murray returning with his sophomore album, Enigma.
A lot of people said
the album
like this album better than
highlights, Call My Name, Magnifique.
A lot of people I was cool with in high school and all this, like said I was in high school at the time in '96. I was still in middle school, but when they talk about Keith Murray, they said this is one of their favorite albums from him.
And The Rhyme. Other Def Squad member that will release will be Redman with his third album, Muddy Waters. This is another stellar album from Redman. It went gold behind highlights, Rock the Spot, Case Closed, Whatever Man, and more. Other albums that were released in '96 would include Sugar T with Paper Chasing, The DOC, Helter Skelter, The Conscious Daughters, Gamers, Rappin' Forte, Off Parole, Bahamadia, College,
Yes.
Mac Mall with
Okay.
Untouchable, Selly Cell,
Okay.
Killer Cali, Luke, Uncle Luke,
Luke.
Shaheen
Oh,
with The
yeah.
Lost Generation,
Oh, it came out in 96. I thought it claimed. Yeah, you're right.
Mr. Mike with Wicked Ways,
I can see that because
Akinelli, Put It In Your Mouth,
nah, I always said that this was the gift and curse of Aquinelli. Because before Aquinelli, for that he was like hella lyrical. This one he was lyrical and nasty. Then afterwards he went the nasty route and he fell off after that, man.
Blase Blase with Blah Blah Blah, Silk,
Yup.
The
The
Shocker.
Shocker. I thought it was 97.
Drew Down, Can You Feel Me,
KO.
Mr. 3-2, The Wicked Buddha Baby,
I never heard this one. This guy's.
The Dayton Family,
Yup.
FBI, Razzcast, Soul
His
on
debut.
Ice,
What's his debut? I think.
Flesh and Bone,
Yup.
Thugs, Shaq with You
Ah,
Can't Stop
yes.
the Rain. Biggie had some of his best verses on that song. If you haven't heard it, definitely
I
treat
think he's the
yourself.
Lakers.
I'll put a
He's
link
for the
to
Lakers
it
at
in
the time
description.
too.
There was Be Legit, The Hemp Museum, which was a pretty good album. San Quinn, The Hustle
I
Continues,
think I never heard him.
and Dr. Dre
Yup.
presents
The
The
aftermath. Yup.
Despite losing a legend and there being a lot of tension between the stars of '96, they were able to hone in on their music and produce the best music of their
Yes.
careers. For many people, '96 is their favorite year, and so far, I have to agree with '88 coming second. We'll continue to look at other
Okay.
years and discuss what's the best year in
And-
hip hop.
Indeed, they went a new year with 90, so I'm definitely can't wait to check that out. We can change it. But I'm going to order other releases as well too. So the thing that after that they did 99 was a good one, and we're going back to 90 though. But I guess I'm guessing Cell Therapy came out in 95 for Goody Mob. I don't know why I thought that was 96, but yeah, I don't know why I thought that was 96 the whole time though. Let me see, Cell Therapy. Not Cell Therapy. Soul Food. It's not Cell Therapy. Cell Therapy is one of their singles. Soul Food's the album. Yeah, let me see. So it was 95 that came out. Yeah, 95 close to last year, 95. That's why, because I knew the singles were probably in 96 though. But yeah, other than that, this was good little videos right here too. Because like I said, the fact that this might have been considered the best year, because the fact that it was 22 minutes long compared to the other videos as well too. But then again, 90 is 30 minutes long, so I'm gonna make some time for that. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, get that out your mouth, little boy. Sorry. He's walking, man, still putting stuff in his mouth. You like his little hair? Anyway, it's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.